You are listening to Where I Come From, produced by Coastal Youth Media.
I'm Rosie.
I'm Madison.
My name's Lydia.
My name's Natasha.
My name is Cece. Do you have something that really tells the story of where you come from? Maybe it's your uncle's muddy work boots on the back porch, or your grandmother's frying pan. As part of our journey, we are exploring the power of memory to help us tell stories and understand where we are from.
I don't remember much, yet I remember it all. I remember the sun shining in my face as I drove to Lydia's house, and as I entered the door, petting her fat tabby cat named Poe. And I remember the lukewarm coffee she had served me this morning that her mother had made hours before. Yet I also remember eating that stale crumbly Pop-Tart in art class last Friday, and the cinnamon roll Lydia shared with me this morning. It was very sugary.
It begins with a pecan tree, dropping pecans for us to harbor in our shirts, then run into the house where they are baked, the sweet smell attacking our noses, our tongues eager to taste. But we have to wait until dinner, my favorite fried chicken. I love to hear the cracking sounds, the bubbling and glisten of the grease popping out of the pot. Dinner comes and I take a seat, my plate full of food, devoured in only a few quick minutes. I can't wait to have dessert. And after, rest my eyes, how nice right now to have some fried chicken and pecan pie.
I remember the first friend I've ever had. It was the best day ever. I remember the many colors of a museum. I remember seeing my brother for the first time. I remember the time I learned how to hum. It was fun. I remember having to run from a dog. I remember when I was in New Jersey and I could almost taste the city smog. I remember finding my favorite song. I felt energized and happy. I remember when I saw my brother cry and I told my mom he was being too sappy. I remember going underwater for the first time. I was in a pool and it was like magic. I remember a bad Netflix movie. It was really funny, but the acting was tragic. I remember hanging out with my friends for the first time. I ate a cookie and had some tea. I remember sitting in a park with a friend. She told me, "It's just you and me."
I remember visiting you in the hospital and being proud I didn't cry. I remember when my baby sister was born. I was so happy she wasn't a boy. I remember writing my parents' phone number inside my shoe in case we got lost in the city. I remember dyeing Easter eggs, and I spilled all of the dye on the table. I remember spelling almond wrong, and my friend was laughing at me about it. I remember reading ahead in Harry Potter books and finding out the ending and feeling guilty. I remember learning to roller skate on the hand-me-down pair from my friends that were pink and white with little flowers on them. I remember feeling sad when my baby doll was donated, and I didn't know. I remember taking the train into the city and having to pee really badly. I remember learning to surf right after I had had mouth surgery. I don't recommend it.
I remember a spring afternoon walking to the movies with my friends, the taste of popcorn on my tongue. I remember a rainy day walking through the forest with my sister. She was complaining. I remember the last day of school. We were playing Monopoly. I remember science class. We had just watched a weird movie about slime. I remember a Friday evening. We were watching Minions with a friend, and we were laughing at the absurdity. I remember a night with my friend on the trampoline. We were just jumping, and it was great. I remember going to the baseball game with my dad. We had gotten a bunch of popcorn, and it was really good. I remember playing Dungeons & Dragons with my friends, and when one of them brought up guns, we all laughed because it's not gun context. I remember reading during social studies class and my teacher yelling at me. I remember Invention Camp and being the counselor there and having all the children practically worship me. I remember sailing camp, and it was really fun because we would always get to swim in the water. And I remember playing video games with one of my best friends before she moved away.
What experiences do you remember clearly? This is our second workshop as we continue on our journey in Carteret County, exploring our stories. Next, we are going to read and hear poetry from North Carolina poets and discuss how it relates to our own life experiences. We hope it inspires you to do the same. I'm Cece. Thanks for listening. Where I Come From is a project of Coastal Youth Media in collaboration with I Am Her in Beaufort, North Carolina. This project is funded in part by a grant from the Carteret County Arts Council and the North Carolina Arts Council, with additional funding from the North Carolina Local News Lab Fund.